she just hugged you. And for a split second, the world felt different. Warmer, electric, like something unspoken just passed between you. But then your mind starts spinning. Was that just a friendly hug? Did she mean more? What do I do now? Most men freeze here. They panic, overthink, send a message immediately, or try too hard to read her mind. But here's a truth almost no one will tell you. A hug isn't just a physical gesture, it's a signal, a test, a subtle window into her emotions. And if you know how to respond, if you know the psychology behind it, you can make her think about you constantly without saying a single unnecessary word. Let's break this down. When a woman hugs you, she is measuring something. She's testing your presence, your energy, and your ability to hold emotional stability. The way you respond in the moments immediately after that hug will either amplify attraction or kill it completely. Most men fail here because they are operating from need, insecurity, or a desperate desire to be liked. But attraction doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to calm, grounded, magnetic energy. Pay attention to how she pulled you in during the hug. Was it brief, lingering? Did her hands linger on your arms or back? These small details are her subconscious sending a message. A lingering touch, curiosity and attraction, a quick, brief hug, comfort and evaluation, she's testing your energy. And your response in the next few seconds or minutes is critical. Here's the first truth most men never hear. After a hug, you don't chase her attention. You hold your presence, you stay grounded, you don't explain, overthink, or double text. You allow the emotional resonance of the moment to settle in. Why? Because women process emotions differently. When a hug ends, her mind is assessing. How does he handle closeness? How stable is he? Can he carry this energy without needing validation? Your reaction will answer those questions more loudly than your words ever could. The second insight is this. Your body language immediately after the hug speaks volumes. Do you retreat awkwardly? Do you fidget, break eye contact, or look away nervously? Or do you stand tall, hold gentle eye contact, and radiate calm confidence? Every micro movement communicates your emotional strength, and the more confident and present you are in that moment, the more her subconscious will anchor the hug in memory, tying you to a sense of safety, magnetism, and intrigue. Notice her hands, too. Even subtle gestures, her fingers brushing yours, her palm resting lightly against your arm, can be loaded with meaning. Most men miss this entirely. They see a hug as an isolated act of touch. They ignore the unspoken communication happening through her body, but her hands are whispering, "I am curious about you. I want to feel connected, but I need to see if he can handle me." When you respond with grounded presence, you cement yourself in her mind as someone safe, desirable, and emotionally stable, a rare combination that she will remember long after the hug ends. And here's the part almost no one talks about. The moments immediately after a hug are your chance to create tension and intrigue. Not manipulation, not games, real emotional resonance. A slight pause, a calm smile, a soft laugh. These simple, subtle actions allow her brain to linger on the hug, to replay it, to associate you with a sense of intrigue, warmth, and calm confidence. Most men rush to break the tension, but tension is not discomfort. It is attraction building silently. Your words matter, but less than you think. A simple, light comment works wonders. That felt nice. Not overthinking, not over-explaining, not trying to impress. Just acknowledgement, paired with calm energy. This tells her you are present, aware, and emotionally grounded. And nothing makes a woman think about a man more than his ability to create presence without overcomplicating intimacy. Now let's talk about the mental patterns at play. When she hugs you, dopamine spikes. Her brain is associating touch with emotional safety and attraction. Oxytocin is released. Her subconscious starts marking you as someone who can be emotionally stable, confident, and present. But here's the catch. If you respond from anxiety, overeagerness, or neediness, you interrupt that chemical process. You reduce attraction, you break the moment. But respond with grounded energy, calm confidence, and subtle acknowledgement, and you embed yourself in her subconscious as someone worth thinking about constantly. This is why the moments immediately after a hug are critical. Most men either panic and overtext or fall into awkward silence and overanalyze. Neither creates attraction. The right response is subtle, magnetic, and confident. It's about holding presence, radiating calm energy, and letting the emotional imprint of the hug do the work. Think of it this way. She just gave you a gift of closeness. How you honor it or mishandle it will determine whether she thinks about you for hours, days, or weeks, or whether the moment passes and she moves on. Men who understand this step don't just get remembered, they get craved. She begins to replay your energy in her mind, feeling drawn to your calm confidence, intrigued by your grounded presence, and emotionally anchored by your subtle acknowledgement. Now reflect. The next time a woman hugs you, do you panic and overthink, or do you hold calm presence and let the hug do its work? Your answer is everything. Now let's dig deeper, because understanding the hug alone isn't enough. What you do after that embrace determines whether you vanish from her mind or embed yourself there permanently. Most men never realize this. They see a hug, feel the spark, then panic, overcompensate, or awkwardly retreat. The result? She remembers the hug, but not you. She doesn't replay your presence. She moves on. Here's the first key principle. Presence beats words every time. After a hug, you don't need to fill silence, explain feelings, or justify the moment. Your body, your energy, and your calm awareness communicate far more than your words ever could. Standing tall, holding soft eye contact, letting a genuine smile linger, these microsignals send a powerful message. You are confident, emotionally stable, and comfortable in her proximity. That energy makes her brain anchor the memory of the hug to you, and it begins to replay it subconsciously. The next truth is about timing and pacing. Don't rush to text her immediately after the hug. Don't try to analyze her gestures for hidden meaning. Instead, give her space. Let the brain do its work. Here's why. When someone experiences closeness, their mind naturally processes dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals that strengthen emotional memory and desire. If you bombard her with messages, you interrupt that process. You turn curiosity into neediness. You break the delicate tension that makes her think about you long after the hug. The moment she hugged you, her mind started a mental loop. Your energy determines whether that loop keeps spinning or fizzles out. Then there's touch, follow-up. Subtle, natural gestures after a hug can anchor attraction. A light hand on the shoulder, a playful brush of the arm, or a lingering handshake can silently reinforce presence. But here's the trick. These touches must be calm and confident, not clingy or forced. Women's subconscious minds notice patterns in energy, not intention. Your steady, grounded physical presence communicates emotional safety, intrigue, and desirability in a way words never can. You also have to understand emotional contrast. Mixed energy, calm confidence paired with playful curiosity, creates an imprint. For example, after a hug, you might smile softly, make a small, lighthearted joke, and let her reaction unfold naturally. This contrast between warmth, ease, and mystery triggers her subconscious mind to replay your energy, making you unforgettable. Most men either overdo this with humor or overanalyze and become awkward, both of which destroy the effect. Another key insight. Her micro-expressions reveal the depth of attraction. Did her eyes linger longer than normal? Did she unconsciously lean toward you? Did her hand subtly remain near yours? These signals indicate she is already thinking about you and testing your response. If you respond with calm confidence, you reinforce attraction. If you panic, fidget, or over-explain, you sabotage the subtle magic of the moment. Now, let's address mental anchoring. A hug is a catalyst, but your energy after the hug cements the memory. Imagine this. She hugs you, her mind lights up, dopamine floods, and her brain begins to link feelings of curiosity and warmth to you. If you stay grounded, playful, and confident, you amplify that memory. You become the reason her mind replays the hug. That's how men make women think about them nonstop. The hug alone is a spark. Your post-hug presence is the fire. This is also where most men fail. they try too hard to impress immediately afterward. They send messages like, "I can't stop thinking about our hug," or "You felt amazing just now." These are traps. Why? Because attraction is not built through verbal validation, it is built through emotional resonance. Your calm energy, subtle acknowledgement, and grounded presence are what embed you in her subconscious. Words without presence are empty. Presence without desperation is magnetic. Here's the final critical truth. Women remember energy, not words. If you hug her and then leave the moment to chance, your energy lingers in her mind. She replays your calm, confident presence over and over. She remembers how safe and intriguing you felt. She associates you with emotional stability and subtle magnetism. That's what makes her think about you nonstop. Most men never understand this. They chase validation, misread gestures, and disappear from her memory. So reflect honestly. After a woman hugs you, do you panic and try to fill the silence? Or do you hold calm, confident presence and let the hug imprint itself in her subconscious? That choice determines whether you vanish or become unforgettable. Here's the part most men never realize. Making her think about you nonstop isn't about grand gestures, flashy texts, or overcomplicated strategies. It's about subtle psychological triggers and the way you hold yourself after intimacy. Every hug, glance, or moment of closeness can either vanish into memory or become a loop she can't stop replaying in her mind. And the difference lies in your energy, presence, and timing. The first principle is anchoring her emotions. When she hugs you, she feels warmth, safety, and curiosity. Your job is to anchor those feelings subtly without over-explaining. A calm smile, a soft look in the eyes, or a playful nod as you step back. These simple actions tell her that the moment matters without demanding anything. Most men try to create attraction with words. The magnetic men let the energy they exude create it naturally. Women don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. Next, understand the power of controlled absence. After a hug, don't rush to overtext or analyze her behavior. Let your energy linger. The human brain thrives on curiosity, and absence amplifies attraction. When you give her space after closeness, you allow her mind to fill in the blanks with imagination, desire, and anticipation. Over-communication, over-analysis, or frantic attempts to lock in her attention only diminish the effect. The men who master this skill are the ones she can't stop thinking about. They become a mental imprint she subconsciously craves. Then there's the use of playful teasing and contrast. After a hug, a light tease or a subtle joke shifts the emotional energy from warmth to intrigue. For example, a small, playful remark about her hug or something in the moment creates emotional contrast. Comfort paired with challenge, warmth paired with curiosity. Mixed energy like this triggers dopamine spikes in her brain, making you memorable. Most men avoid contrast because they fear rejection, but contrast is magnetic. It makes her emotional system lean into you rather than away. Now, pay attention to micro behaviors. Did her fingers brush yours? Did her gaze linger even briefly? Did her body unconsciously lean toward yours? These are subconscious invitations. Your response matters more than you think. A grounded, confident acknowledgement, subtle eye contact, a calm smile, a soft laugh reinforces the magnetic energy. Panic, fidgeting, or overthinking kills it instantly. Women remember presence more than words, and subtle alignment between your energy and hers creates an imprint she can't shake. Let's discuss the psychology of anticipation. Humans are wired to respond to patterns. When she experiences a calm, confident presence after a hug, her subconscious begins to anticipate your energy. She starts replaying the hug, thinking about your reaction, and emotionally connecting the warmth she felt to your stability. This anticipation loop is how attraction becomes irresistible. Most men unknowingly break this pattern by over-communicating or appearing anxious. The subtle men allow the loop to grow naturally in her mind. Another powerful principle is emotional mirroring without neediness. Subtly reflecting her emotional energy, her excitement, her curiosity, her playfulness, creates rapport without dependency. Most men misunderstand mirroring, turning it into mimicry or approval seeking. True mirroring is about aligning energy without sacrificing independence. When done correctly, it makes her feel understood, safe, and drawn to you simultaneously. Her subconscious links these feelings directly to you, reinforcing thought loops about your presence. Timing and pacing remain critical. If you see an opportunity for closeness after a hug, another touch, a lingering smile, a soft laugh, don't force it. Let her move toward it naturally. The men who chase, push, or demand clarity destroy attraction. The men who hold subtle tension, maintain presence, and allow her to engage on her terms are the ones who leave lasting impressions. Your calm patience turns a brief hug into a mental memory she can't shake. Finally, consider the power of storytelling and subtle association. Mentioning a shared memory, a playful anecdote, or even a lighthearted moment during or after the hug creates emotional links between her memory of you and positive feelings. Her brain associates you with warmth, intrigue, and enjoyment. Most men never use this because they underestimate the emotional weight of small, consistent triggers. Each interaction, each touch, each laugh compounds attraction, making her think about you nonstop long after you part ways. Here's the truth. The men she remembers, the men who linger in her mind, are the ones who master energy, subtlety, and presence. They don't need to over-explain, overanalyze, or manipulate. They simply understand human psychology and use it to create an emotional imprint. After a hug, after closeness, after even brief intimacy, you either reinforce that imprint or let it fade into oblivion. Now reflect. When a woman hugs you, do you leave a lasting impression, or do you let the moment slip away? Are you aware of subtle cues, emotional anchoring, and presence, or do you panic and overthink? Understanding this distinction is the difference between being remembered and being forgotten. Now it all comes together. This is the part most men never master, transforming a single hug into lasting attraction, into a state where she can't stop thinking about you, where your presence lingers in her mind long after you've gone. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. It's understanding how the female mind encodes emotional memories and how your energy interacts with hers. Most men miss it entirely, and that's why they remain forgettable. The first truth is this: women remember energy, not words. You could say 100 clever things, but if your energy is anxious, needy, or scattered, she won't remember the words. They will vanish. Conversely, a single grounded, confident hug followed by calm presence imprints on her brain. Her subconscious starts linking attraction to your energy. She remembers how she felt around you. That's why the moments immediately after a hug are so powerful. Your energy becomes the memory, and the memory becomes desire. Next is the art of subtle tension. Most men try to erase tension after a hug. They overtext, overexplain, or rush to reconnect. That destroys curiosity. The men she thinks about are the ones who hold presence without filling every gap. A brief pause after a hug, a calm smile, letting the moment breathe. It creates anticipation. It creates dopamine. Her brain starts replaying the hug, her mind cycling through the memory, feeling the emotional pull again and again. This is the essence of magnetic attraction. Then there's strategic engagement. After a hug, your gestures, words, and tone must align with confidence and subtle intrigue. A soft laugh, a playful nod, a small compliment that doesn't overstate interest. These micro actions reinforce the emotional memory of the hug without seeming desperate. Most men fail here because they either overdo it or ignore the opportunity. The men who succeed are intentionally subtle, letting attraction build through energy and psychology rather than words. Pay attention to micro-physical cues. Her lingering fingers, subtle eye contact, the way she leans slightly in your direction. These are her subconscious invitations. Your role is to respond without anxiety, overthinking, or trying to control the interaction. A calm presence, a soft smile, or even a gentle touch reinforces her subconscious desire and makes her brain associate you with warmth, safety, and intrigue simultaneously. That combination is irresistible. Here's the hidden psychology. Repetition builds obsession. Every small interaction after a hug, your tone of voice, your energy, your subtle acknowledgement, creates patterns her brain locks onto. It starts replaying them unconsciously. She doesn't need grand gestures. She doesn't need explicit declarations. Her subconscious loops on small, consistent cues that signal stability, presence, and intrigue. Most men think attraction is built through action. In reality, it's built through subtle, emotional echoes she feels and remembers. Now, let's talk about emotional contrast. Women are drawn to men who create balance, calmness paired with playfulness, presence paired with subtle independence. After a hug, you can lightly tease, joke, or create playful tension, but always remain grounded. This combination triggers curiosity and desire in her subconscious. Mixed energy like this makes her brain want to process, remember, and anticipate you. That's how a hug transforms into a lingering emotional imprint. Another critical insight is controlled absence. After you've established presence post-hug, resist the urge to over-communicate. Don't text immediately, don't analyze her reactions. Let your energy linger. Her brain fills in the blanks, connecting warmth, safety, and attraction back to you. Absence here doesn't create distance, it creates anticipation. And anticipation is the psychological force that makes her think about you nonstop. Finally, let's combine everything. Grounding presence, micro gestures, subtle teasing, emotional contrast, and controlled absence. This is the formula of magnetic attraction. The man who masters this doesn't need to chase, plead, or over-explain. He becomes unforgettable because he understands how to leverage psychology, human emotion, and energy in every interaction. Every hug becomes a memory, every smile becomes a trigger, every subtle gesture becomes an emotional anchor. She doesn't just remember him, she thinks about him constantly, replaying his presence in her mind long after he's gone. Now I want you to reflect. The next time a woman hugs you, will you panic, overthink, and chase her attention? Or will you hold calm, confident presence, create subtle tension, and let her subconscious mind embed your energy permanently? Type your answer in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe for more insider psychology on attraction, and share it with a friend who needs to understand how to leave a lasting impression every time. Because once you master this, intimacy no longer fades, it lingers, and so do you.